Hi and welcome. Have you heard of the new EIP card? That's right, it's the new Economic Impact Payment Prepaid Visa Debit Card from the IRS and the Treasury Department. They are no longer going to be sending out paper checks to many people. Instead, they're going to be sending out these prepaid debit cards that will be loaded with your stimulus money. In this video, I'm going to talk about a few of the important questions that many people are asking, so I wanted to cover that. So when you receive your impact payment prepaid debit card, you know what to do right away. In this video, I'm going to be covering who will be receiving the Economic Impact Payment Card. Also, how many people are receiving the EIP card? Are there any benefits to using the EIP card instead of getting a stimulus check? How will you be receiving the EIP card? And when you receive it, how do you activate it? Where can you use your EIP card? Can you withdraw money from your EIP card or transfer it to a bank account? Can you use your EIP card along with Venmo or PayPal to pay other people? How much does the EIP card cost? Are there any fees to use it? Can the government or the IRS or the prepaid card company track your spending? Well, we're going to cover all those questions throughout this entire video, so make sure you watch to the very end to get all the answers. Hi, my name is William with Taxxaminer Tax Services, and I'm a certified registered tax preparer. Here in my community, I talk about more than just taxes. If you would like to receive additional content in regards to saving money with your taxes, smart money tips, how to create side hustle businesses, or maybe even marketing those businesses, feel free to go ahead and subscribe to my community and or hit the notification bell button so that way you're notified when more content is available. Now let's talk about some of this EIP card questions. Question number 1, who will be receiving the Economic Impact Payment Prepaid Visa Debit Card? The IRS, along with the Treasury Department and Meta Bank, have been working together for some time to try to get this new stimulus payment out to people as fast as possible. On the news article from the IRS website, they didn't say specifically how long they've been working on it, but they've been working on it. Now, some people have reported because of them working on it, it's taken them longer to send out payment stimulus checks to the people, either through mail or direct deposit, and that's why SSI, the VA, and the railroad, and along with Social Security have been backed up. People have been logging on to get my payment. They're not getting the answers. Well, I really doubt that. I think the IRS has been working really hard and diligently to try to get the payments out to people as fast as possible. So this is just one other means that they're testing to some people. It's not going out to everyone, and we're going to cover exactly how many people and who are selected to receive this here shortly. But I think the IRS is just trying to figure out ways to better get money out to people faster in a much more streamlined process. Can't imagine the amount of administration, paperwork, the process in the back end, the logistics to keep all this organized, to figure out who's received it, who hasn't received it, if paper checks in the mail are getting lost, how do you cancel out those checks and mail out new checks? So I think this new prepaid debit card will be the answer, and who knows, maybe the next stimulus package that passes, the HEROES Act or something similar to that, we might all get our payment on this instead of through direct deposit or paper check. The IRS did say they are targeting people that file their income taxes where the IRS does not have their banking information on file. So instead of sending them a paper check, they are going to send out the new Impact Payment Prepaid Debit Card to them. Out of all those people, the IRS is only selecting where income taxes were processed through the IRS Service Center in Andover and in Austin. So those will be the people that will be receiving the EIP cards. Now, how many of these cards will be sent out? There will be approximately 4 million of these prepaid debit cards that will be mailed out instead of the paper checks. This leads us into question number 2. How many people will be receiving the EIP cards? The Treasury Department has already delivered more than 140 million economic impact payments, worth $239 billion to the American people by direct deposit, direct express cards, or by check in the mail. Now, with these economic impact payment prepaid debit cards, there'll be approximately 4 million of these mailed out to people. The IRS will be mailing out these EIP cards to the last known address they have on file, just like the stimulus check if that would have been mailed out. So you want to make sure that your address is up to date with the IRS. If you've recently moved, make sure you have a forwarding address with the USPS. If you had a forwarding address with the USPS and it's been some time, you want to make sure it hasn't expired. So that way your EIP card is not going to a different address. Also, these cards, when they arrive, they will already be preloaded with your stimulus amount on it. So you don't have to wonder, well, how much money am I getting on this card? If you were getting a $1,200 stimulus check, $1,200 will be already added onto the card. If you're getting $2,400 or $1,200 plus dependents or $2,400 plus dependents, that amount will be already preloaded on the card. Are there any benefits over having a prepaid debit card versus the paper stimulus check? That's a tough question. Depends on who's asking the question, who's answering the question. I know for me, I don't mind having a debit card because I use debit cards, credit cards, plastic cards all the time. I don't necessarily carry a lot of cash with me. But I know for a lot of people that don't have bank accounts or don't have debit cards, don't have credit cards, they are used to having cash in their hand and that's all they use. So they're burdened now to have to carry a plastic card. Many people on the discussion boards and on the forum boards and in groups are talking about the different options. But I think for the government side, the IRS and the Treasury Department, it probably makes it much more easier if people have already a card on file with them, because if another stimulus package passes in the future, it'll probably be much more easier to disperse that money, especially for people that don't have bank accounts, right away instead of sending out paper checks to them. Also, the cost of paper is probably really expensive for the IRS to process all the paper, ink, and all the other headaches that go involved with printing all this and mailing it out, relying on the post office. Things get lost in the mail. There's an overwhelming amount of logistics that the IRS has to go through just to make sure if they're mailing out a paper check that they actually receive it. And then if they cash these checks, if they don't cash these checks, there's a lot of money just floating around. Well, I think with them partnering with MetaBank handles all the distribution and the printing of the cards. Once people receive these cards, they keep them for a long period of time. So I think the government is probably setting us up for future stimulus payments or for future use. That way they have it already on file. That's my perspective. Let me know in the comments what you think. Would you prefer to have a paper check or the prepaid debit card? Which method would you prefer? There are many benefits by having this EIP card. I'm wondering what you think. What benefits would you like to see, or what benefits you think are missing, or why do you still believe that the EIP card is a no-go and you prefer having a paper stimulus check? Now let's jump over to question number 4. Question number 4, how will you receive your EIP card? And once you receive your EIP card, what do you need to do to go ahead and activate that? So your EIP card will be mailed to the last known physical address that you have on file with the IRS. I talked about this earlier in the video. It will come in the mail in a plain white envelope. In the front of that envelope, you will see Money Network Cardholder Services. Once you open up your envelope, you will have your prepaid debit card in there, along with some documentation and the terms and conditions of your card. Your card will look very similar to this with your name on it. It will have the Visa logo on the top corner. On the back, you also will see the MetaBank logo down below. Don't forget to sign this to protect your card. After you opened up your envelope and you're ready to activate it, you'll see an 800 number. The 800 number to call to activate it, it's 1-800-240-8100. Once again, that's 1-800-240-8100. And I'll put that in the description down below. During the activation, it's going to ask you to validate some information like your name, your address, and social security number. So be prepared for that. It'll also ask you to create a 4-digit PIN number. This PIN number will be used when you shop at stores and you use the debit card, 4-digit PIN number, or when you go to the ATM machine to withdraw some money, you'll use that 4-digit PIN number. So keep that safe and secure, and do not use your personal information for your 4-digit PIN number. You can also set up an online account. After you set up the online account, you can download the mobile app so that way you can access your information on the mobile app. The mobile app is called the Money Network mobile app. I'll also put a link in the description for you to go to the Money Network website to create your online account. And then once again, with that online account, you can also use that same information for the mobile app. Now let's talk about question number 5. Question number 5, where can you use your economic impact payment prepaid debit card? You could use it anywhere domestically or internationally that accepts the Visa or debit card. You can shop online, shop over the phone, or shop at retail locations. You can pay bills with it, buy groceries, and you can pump gas. Here's a tip for you. If you plan to use your EIP card at the gas station to pay for gas, don't use the credit card terminal that's in the little gas thing. Go inside and pay the attendant. Tell them you want 10, 15 bucks or whatever dollar amount you want for your gas with your card to charge that. You prepay it. The reason why is because if you use a little credit card slot and if you slide it in there, it pre-authorizes a certain dollar amount. And because of that pre-authorization, it holds up some of your funds, and it takes 24 to 48 hours for that pre-authorization to reconcile with the actual dollar amount that you put with your gas. So if you go straight in and you pay with the attendant, and that way you tell them, hey, I need $20, I need $40 worth of gas, then you have your money immediately taken out and you know exactly where your balance is for future. So that's just a quick tip when it comes to pumping gas. But once again, you could use this debit card almost anywhere that accepts that. And like I mentioned, you can also use it internationally. Now, there's fees attached with that, and I'll talk about the fees further on down the line in this video. But in the meanwhile, you can use this debit card almost anywhere. I'm curious, how many of you only shop by cash, or how many of you use some form of debit or credit card? Leave a comment and let me know. How often do you use your credit card or debit card, or just cash, or maybe you mix both? I'm just curious. Let us know, how often do you use either or? Let's move on to question number 6. Question number 6. Can you use any ATM machine to withdraw money from your EIP card? Or what about transferring the balance that's on your EIP card to a separate bank account? Let's talk about a few different ways that you can withdraw money. You could use any ATM machine, internationally or domestically, to withdraw money from your EIP card. However, there are in-network and out-of-network ATM machines. And if you're using out-of-network ATM machines, there's fees attached to that. But I'll talk about the fees later on in this video, so continue watching. Now, you can also transfer the balance that you have on your card to a separate bank account. You'll have to go online or use the mobile app to do that. But that's pretty good. There's also a limit. You can withdraw up to $1,000 of money through the ATM machine. Now, each ATM machine you go to may have their own limit of how much money you can withdraw. But when it comes to the EIP card, they have a limit of up to $1,000. Another way you can get money back, if you go to a retail store and let's say you buy something but use your debit card to pay, not the Visa credit card method of paying, you can use the cash back option. A lot of retail locations have that. You'll have to use the debit method, and then it'll ask you if you want cash back, so you can tell them $20, $40. They may have their own limit. You'll need to use the 4-digit PIN number to use that method, but just be aware you can get cash back using the EIP card. If you don't like using ATM machines and you prefer to go inside to withdraw money, you can do that with this EIP card. You can go to any local bank or credit union and go inside and have the teller withdraw the money for you. You'll need an ID and your PIN number to do that. Or you can set it up once again online and just transfer your funds that you have on your EIP card to a separate bank account if you already have a different bank account. There may be additional fees for using some of those services. I'll talk about these fees later on in this video, so continue watching. But in the meantime, let's talk about question number 7. Question number 7, can we use our economic impact payment prepaid Visa debit card with peer-to-peer payment apps like Venmo, Cash, or PayPal? And the answer is yes, you can. According to the My Network website, they say that most peer-to-peer apps will work and accept this as a source of funding for the paying other people. So good news on that part. Now let's talk about question number 8. Question number 8 is probably one of the most important questions and the most asked question. How much does it cost to use the EIP card? Are there any hidden fees? Is this thing going to run out even though I don't use it? What are the surcharges? Good news is that most of the stuff on this card that you do with it is free. You don't charge almost nothing, or there's zero fees whatsoever. And to receive the card already loaded with your money, there's no fee for that. If you're using in-network ATM machines, there's no fee to withdraw money. If you use out-of-network ATM machines, they do charge you. In the link, I'll put a description where you can go to the website or on the mobile app. It'll tell you where all the in-network ATM machines are. So that way you don't have to pay any additional fees if you decide you want to use an out-of-network ATM machine. But all in-network ATM machines have the brand Allpoint on there. Once again, I'll put the information in the description. If by chance you don't have an in-network ATM machine near you and you have to use an out-of-network ATM machine, the first withdrawal is zero. They don't charge you any money for the very first withdrawal. However, after every withdrawal after that, using an out-of-network ATM machine, they do charge you $2 per ATM withdrawal after that. So that can add up. So the best thing to do is find any network ATM machine that's in your area. If you happen to be out of the United States and you're abroad internationally and you need to withdraw money, each transaction is $3 for withdrawing money internationally. If your card is lost or stolen and they need to reissue you a card, it costs $7.50. For those of you that do not like to withdraw money out of the ATM machine and you prefer to go inside to a bank or credit union and withdraw the money over the counter with the teller, you may want to start using the ATM machine. If you do it with this card, the very first time it's free. After that, it's $5 for every sequential withdrawal over the counter. So once again, start using the ATM machine. You may run into additional fees outside and above and beyond of what the EIP card may charge you for using your card. For instance, if you go to a retail location, be very careful with some of these locations, especially if they have a big giant sign there, or they may have a tiny little sign there that says if you don't spend over $5 or $10 or $15, they'll charge you anywhere from 50 cents to $3 to use a Visa card to buy their merchandise. Bullshit, right? Or what about those places that if you use your debit card, they'll charge you 65 cents or $1.25 on top of whatever you're buying because you're using a debit card. So those are just some of the fees or surcharges you can pay above and beyond for using a debit card. Me personally, I don't shop at those locations, but anyways, I much prefer to shop somewhere that wants my money and wants me to buy from them and doesn't charge me any surcharges. In any case, let's move on to question number 9. Question number 9, it's another very important question a lot of people are asking about and wondering what's the real reason behind the EIP card. Come closer. Let me tell you, come, hurry up. Come. I don't want the government to hear. It's called privacy, right? We don't want them to know nothing where we spend our money, right? I much prefer to get the check in the mail, cash that, and spend my money anyway, anyhow, anywhere I want to without nobody knowing, right? We don't know if the government's going to be tracking this stuff. Well, we do know. It's actually, the answer is no. The government isn't going to find out. Big Brother isn't going to know. IRS isn't going to track us. Under federal law, the federal government is not allowed to ask the card issuer about your card account, and the card issuer is not allowed to give the government information about your card account, except without your written permission, except under very limited circumstances. I don't know what those limited circumstances are, but I'm assuming if you're under investigation for criminal acts, that's probably one of the reasons that falls under limited circumstances. But in any case, the answer is no. Nobody's going to know where you spent your money. Nobody's going to track it. Nobody's going to have any information about it whatsoever. I personally believe the EIP cards are a great alternative to the stimulus paper check. I'm curious to find out what you guys think. How do you guys feel about this EIP card? I believe if we do receive a second stimulus package that gets approved and there is going to be a second stimulus check sent out, this will probably be one of the ways that the government will send out the money so that way people get it faster instead of having to try to process hundreds of millions of stimulus payments through paper checks. Let me know. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how you felt about this video. If there's other questions that you have in regards to the EIP card, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll do the research for you and help you answer this in my next video. Consider joining my community if you would like to continue receiving additional information. You can find me on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or even join my email newsletter. You'll find the link down below. Thank you for watching, and if I can answer any additional questions, feel free to leave comments down below and I will answer them in my next video. Thanks for watching.